Hey, thank you for coming today. My name is Kate with Scott Leroy Marketing. Today we are going to be going over the referrals overview in Command. So we're going to be taking a look at the referral network. And with the referral network, that is just the way for agents to kind of network with other KW agents all across the world to send and receive referrals. So great place to network, get to know other agents, and have those people kind of in your pocket when you have a referral in that area. So we're going to be taking a look at that portion of Command. Without further ado, though, let's go ahead and jump in. So the first thing we want to do is make sure we are logged into Command. So agent.kw.com for Command. If you are not familiar, I will drop that in the chat. Once you're logged in, you'll see a screen that is similar to mine. Yours may look a little different depending on how you have customized your home screen here. So if yours does look slightly different, that is 100% okay. The first thing we want to take a look at, though, for today's class is we want to take a look at the Referrals Profile. So you can find the Referrals Profile by navigating to your name in the top right corner, and you should see an option there for the Referrals Profile. Now, once you're in the referrals profile, you want to make sure that this profile is up to date. Now, this profile is only for internal use. So the bio here can be different than the bio that's in your marketing profile for your website. That's 100% up to you. Again, this is internal, and only other associates that have access to the referral network are going to be able to see this. So if you want to kind of customize it based on that need, that is totally up to you. You can edit your banner photo up here by hitting the change banner in the top right corner. Again, this will display. You can also change your photo. Now again, this doesn't feed over from your marketing profile. It is a separate profile just because it is used differently. So if you want to put a different photo there, you certainly can. Again, you just hit that change photo. It will allow you to select one from your computer and pull that in. Now, other things on here that you're gonna want to take a look at, you can go ahead and hit the edit profile. And that will allow you to find that other information that you can kind of customize and edit here. Now, there is a couple of pieces of information within this profile that cannot be edited here. For example, your first, last name, and your KW ID. These are going to pull from, I believe these are currently pulling from your My Profiling command. So as long as your My Profile is up to date, those should be pulling correctly. If you do ever experience an issue where your name is correct in the My Profile and not here, you can always reach out to us. You will need an email entered here as well as a phone number. You can also add a secondary number if you want for mobile. Now here you can also add some service areas. So if you are in specific areas or you want to highlight certain areas that you do work in, you can add those here. You can also remove them. If you're interested in adding a new one, you can just hit this little add new. It will create a new box for you, and you can go ahead and start typing in there. So we'll just pick something today. Now you can do city, state. You can just put the city. You could put neighborhoods. It doesn't really pull from a specific place here. So if you want to type a neighborhood instead of a city, state, you certainly can. Once you're done, though, you just click out of that, and it will save that as soon as you hit save at the bottom. Now from here, you also want to make sure you add your URLs. This is kind of optional, but if you're trying to network with other agents and they want to take a look at your stuff, this would be a great place to allow them to view. So you can add your Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and some other social media. Now, right below that, you're going to have some options to, one, opt into the referral network. So if you have this turned off, you're not going to be able to be found within the referral network. So super important if you're wanting to be able to be searchable when people are looking for referral partners, you want to make sure that that is turned on. You got a green light there, you're good to go. Now below that, you have some other options. Now these are optional, what you would like to see on your profile and what you wouldn't. So you can opt into these specific stats. You can just toggle them on and off as you'd like. Now keep in mind, these are only stats that are pulling from while you've been with KW. So if you've recently come from another brokerage, it is only KW stats that will pull here. It's also a rolling 12 months. So if you're seeing an error with those stats, they're not necessarily pulling correctly, just keep that in mind. Only KW stats and only a rolling 12 months will pull right there. But again, you can decide what you'd like to be seen and what you wouldn't. Once you are all done with your referral profile, you have everything up to date, you can go ahead and hit Save Changes. You can view everything, make sure everything updated, service areas, bio, all of that good stuff. You can view all of that here. I do not see any questions, so we will just keep rolling. Now we're going to go back to the home screen now that we've finished taking a look at our referrals profile. And we're going to navigate to the referrals section of Command. If you're not familiar with the referrals section, you can find that by hovering over these applets on the left-hand side. You can also expand this menu bar by hitting the red and white KW. It will allow you to see those different titles of those applets. Again, we're going to check out the referrals. It kind of looks like a pin drop with a person in it. Now, once we are brought into the referrals section, this is our referrals dashboard. And there's a few different things we can kind of take a look at here. First thing is that top banner at the very top. Again, we're in the dashboard currently. We are going to take a look at these other sections. So my referrals, the map, and then of course my network. Now when we're taking a look at my network, it's going to be the same thing that we're seeing down here. So this bottom half of the screen, this is your referral network. So what we see here is going to be very similar to what we see here. But before we navigate to that, we'll take a look at this second bar right here. So we have a referrals overview. So kind of, overviewing all of the information in here. So pending invites. Now those are not pending referrals. They are just pending invites to your network. So people that you're trying to build a relationship with throughout KW that you'd like to have in your network, that you can send and receive referrals easily with those specific people. So we currently have pending invites. If we were to click on that, it would bring us in to view those, and we could either ignore or accept them. We can also view our pending outbound. So again, just invites to join our referral network here. Now, next to that, we have pending referrals. Now, those are going to be actual referrals that have been sent. We can kind of take a look at those here. We can also view our received referrals as well as our sent. So if you click on that, it's going to bring you into the My Referrals, and you can take a closer look at that information. Now below that, we have the ability to search through our referral network for different associates. We have the ability to track referrals, so we can kind of take a look at that. Grow our network, so if you're looking to add more partners to your referral network throughout KW, you can do that here. You can also sort these referral partners based on first and last name, if you want to do it by Z to A to Z, last name, etc. You can also favorite specific referral partners. So maybe if you've already done a transaction with them and you want to make them a favorite, you can simply click that star when you're viewing them here and add them to your favorites. You can also unclick that to remove them, but this just gives you the ability to filter to those specific favorited referral partners. Now in the far right corner, we also have the ability to create a new referral. We're going to go through sending a referral, but we're going to do that in just a little bit. So we're going to keep kind of plugging along. Now we're going to head over to the My Network. Again, it's going to look similar to this section down below, but we're going to take a closer look at what all is included in each of these agents kind of drop downs. So when we're in the My Network, again, we have the same functions as the front one. We can also view our pending invitations here in the top right corner. Now, if we want to take a look at these associates and kind of their information from the referral profile, we can click that little drop down. From there, we can see all of their information that is in their referral profile. So we can see location, we can see their bio, their contact information. We can create notes. We can also remove and add that favorite if we'd like to. We can see some of their stats, You can add specific tags here. So if you have done a transaction with them and you want to make a specific tag, or if they work with specific types of people, for example, this one says military, you can add those here yourself for you to be able to see within your referral network and kind of search for those specific people. Now there is referral statistics over here. Those have been coming soon for a while. We are hopeful they'll come at some point, but they're not quite there. Let's see, I got a question in the chat. Yes, this would be only for the referral network with KW. So any KW across the world you can connect with through this platform. Moving back, if we close this up, this is pretty much all you have here. There's not a ton to do right here. You could go ahead and send them a referral directly through here by hitting that send referral. By doing that, it's already got the agent selected, and then you can fill out the other information. We are going to take a look again at sending a referral, but we're going to do that in a little bit. So we're going to kind of keep going. Referrals for other brokerages would not be found with this referral network. So you would find them a different way. They wouldn't be within the KW command system, unfortunately. Moving back to our dashboard, we're going to kind of go through each of these. Now, first, we're going to take a look at the map. So I know we're kind of jumping through these, but we're going to start with the map because we're probably going to spend a good amount of time kind of looking at that. And I'm going to go ahead and close this. Now, once we hit map, you'll see that we have a search bar at the top. We also have what says production. We can also click that. We can also search by different things other than production. We can search by a market center if we'd like to connect with a specific area. We can search through our network. We can also check out referral patterns. Now we're going to take a look at that one first because it's one of my favorites. It's going to always kind of start with Austin, Texas, but this referral patterns shows you where people are moving to. You can also change it to show where people are moving from. So this is a great way to know where you may want to connect with certain associates. So we can change this. Let's just do Orlando. And it will kind of retarget. And as you can see, it's kind of giving us a good idea of where people in Orlando are moving to. It also gives you over here on the right-hand side, it's going to give you a little bit more information. It's even going to have a percentage. So people in Orlando, 5% of those that are showing through here are moving through to Tampa. To Melbourne, it's 3%, but it's going to show you all of those details where those people are moving to. So if you're an agent in Orlando, you may want to connect with people up here in Michigan or Chicago. You may want to connect here in Tallahassee. So these would be great places to kind of look for referral partners based on where people are moving. Now you can also change this to say where people are moving from. So as you can see, it's kind of remapping that. I don't think I can zoom out quite far enough to get to that one over there. But as you can see, 2% are moving over here from Anchorage. You have a bunch down here moving. Again, all of them are going to have a percentage, which how many are being sent from that specific area to Orlando. So again, just a great way for you to be able to identify where you may want to connect with specific agents and build a relationship with, so that you can send and receive referrals easily to those people. Again, we can kind of zoom in on this, get a closer look. Lots of people just move into different areas of Florida, but you do have a few moving outside. So again, you can search by any city to do this, but these referral patterns are really great because it gives you a clear picture of where people are going. Now, if we change this, we can go back to production. Now, again, we're always going to have this search results over here on the right-hand side. When we're dealing with a map, you can usually just zoom in. Let's just pick an area. Let's just go over here. Actually, we'll go down here. And if we zoom in close enough, it should start to populate some information. So as you can see, it's kind of loading there. So now, as we've zoomed in close enough, we can kind of see some agents populating over here on the right-hand side. So this allows us to kind of connect with those agents. You can hover over these. We may not be close enough to see it quite yet. Let's zoom in a little closer. Now, as we zoom in close enough and we have less agents. So as you can see, we have 2 agents on the side over here. If we were to hover over these, let's say you're looking in a very specific area, your clients that you're referring, you can get very specific with who you're sending these to. So as I hover over these red pin drops, it's highlighting the agent to the right-hand side, kind of a light pinkish red color. That is telling me who had that transaction in that area. So as we zoom out a little bit, there'll be a few more. It will do the same thing. So I can identify the agent that's been in that area. That may give me a clearer picture of who I may want to work with. So there's lots of options here when you are searching for partners. We zoom out. And as we get a few more agents filtering over here on the right-hand side, we do have the option to kind of sort these. So currently, it's showing us random agents in this area. As we zoom out, it will kind of change that as well. You can also sort this by some other items. So if you want to search by name, you can also, if you want to see agents with closed units in this area, just closed units, listings sold, if you want to see buy side, and if you want to see leases. So you can filter by all of that information or sort by all of that information, and it will change out who you see at the top. Now, as we look at these agents over here on the side, we can click that little drop down, that little caret, and this will provide us with some additional information on that specific associate. If they're on a team, it will show us their team name here. It will also provide us with their contact information. Some of their stats that are provided. Whoops, I didn't mean to zoom out. That's okay, we'll just pick the next one. It will show us with those stats down here. So we can view all of that information. Now up here in the next to their name, you'll see that we have a person with a plus sign. Now this plus sign allows us to add them to our referral network. So if that is an associate you'd like to connect with and have in your referral network, you can go ahead and send over that invite for them to accept. Now you can also go ahead and send a referral right here by clicking that send referral option. Before we do that, we're going to take a look at a couple other ways to kind of search on this map, and then we'll go through how to actually send a referral this way. Now I do want to also highlight that there is a broadcast referral option up here. It's currently grayed out. In order to broadcast a referral, you do have to be under 50 associates polling. So now that we're at under 50, it's going to allow us to select that. We'll also come take a look at this in just a second. We're going to kind of go through some of these other search options really quick. Now, after production, we also have market centers. So you can search by a specific area for a market center. We'll kind of zoom out here. Now, as you can see, it's going to start showing those pins. Those are going to be market centers generally. And if you kind of zoom in on one. So if you're looking for a specific market center, you can look there and kind of find their associates. Same thing, it's going to allow you to sort those based on all of that different information. So as you're doing that, just keep that in mind. Now, you can search by a city or zip code. You can also change this and search by associate. So if you are looking for a specific person and you want to search by them, come in here and do that. You just want to make sure you switch that to associates. As you can see, we're able to populate right here. It will show that market center. Now, Scott doesn't have all of those stats, so you won't be able to see all of that. You can see everything else here. Also, no license, so it doesn't give us the ability here to send a referral, but just know that if it were a different associate, it should allow you to send that over. Denise, I'm going to come back to yours since I didn't see that in time. We should have time for questions too at the end, you guys. This class doesn't usually take the full hour, so we'll have plenty of time to go over any questions you guys have. We can kind of backtrack. Now you can also use the My Network. Again, that's going to allow you to find people within your network. Let's see if I can find anything. This one's a little bit trickier. There we go. So they're starting to populate based on our network. You can kind of click on them and see them. They'll also populate over here on the right-hand side. So that is our map, you guys. Let's go ahead and go back. We're just going to go back to production. I want to walk you guys through how we actually send a referral. Let's just go over here. We're just playing all around the map today. Let's go to Charleston. Zoom in enough. There we go. So now if we wanted to go ahead and send one of these associates a referral, we can go ahead and click that send referral, and it's going to pop up with a referral request. Now it's already going to have the associate selected again because we have picked them over here. This is going to have their information. We get to decide, are we sending them a referral for a buyer, a seller, tenant, landlord? You'll select that information here. I'm going to go ahead and leave it as a buyer. You also get to determine your referral fee. Now it's going to be set at the standard 25%. However, you can adjust that as you see fit. Right below that, you're going to have your acceptance deadline. So this determines how long they have to accept that referral. So currently it's set at 24 hours. I know a lot of agents are, out and running around. So if you want to extend this, however, that time frame is totally up to you. I would kind of use your judgment on the time that you're sending this and things like that. But you can go ahead and adjust that acceptance deadline for whatever you would like. Below that, you can include some of this information if you have it or would like to. So you have price minimum and price maximum. Also, if you have any notes that you'd like to include, you can go ahead and complete that and fill out those notes. Now this bottom half, I want to point that it says this highlighted message will be kept confidential until this referral is accepted. So this information for your client is going to be withheld from the referral agent until they've accepted that referral. And that is just because we don't want to give any contact information to someone else and potentially have that lead kind of taken. So that is the reason KW has set this up this way. So when you're including your client information, it's not going to provide that to that referral partner until they've accepted the referral. Now, when you're adding client information, you have a couple of options. If you already have them in your database, you can go ahead and add them from there. You can also use create new contact and go ahead and add that contact yourself. I'm going to go ahead and just type here. And we'll just pull up one of these people in our database. So it will pull their information from that contact card. So it's pulling first, last name. I can select if they're pre-approved, pre-qualified. I can leave that client's address if I want to. Some of this is required and others are not. So just keep that in mind as you're plugging this in. If you want to add desired location, so we'll put Charleston. Here we go. Client phone number and client email. If you have an idea of the transaction timeline, if you have a good idea of when they're wanting to be moved by, you can include that. Totally up to you here. Again, that piece of information is not required. But once you have all of this information included, you can go ahead and send this referral over, and they will have that acceptance time to accept or reject this. And we'll kind of take a look at what that looks like on the other end here in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this. We don't want to actually send this because I don't want to send them a fake name, but we'll go ahead and cancel. Now, while we are right here, we also have the ability to broadcast a referral. As you can see, I'm under 50, so it is allowing me to select that option. Now, when we are broadcasting a referral, this is kind of putting that out there for those agents to be able to kind of compete for the referral per se. You will send this out to all of these agents, and they'll kind of toss their hat in the ring if they would like to interview for that referral. And then you get to determine which one that you'd like to give it to. Again, they're tossing their hat in. That gives you the option to go in and interview them. Now, one thing with the send broadcast, once you send a broadcast, it cannot be canceled. So there is no option to cancel a broadcast once you have hit that send broadcast. Now this is the same information. Again, it's going to have all of that. Your name, you can either show your name or you can hide it. It's automatically going to show that it's hidden. and you can show it if you'd like to. But it's going to have all of the other information here that you'll plug in, client information. It won't let you send a referral or broadcast a referral without contact information, just because it wants to make sure that you have a legitimate referral and that it will actually go over to them. So client information is always going to be required. Again, anytime you see this yellow box, it's not going to share that until someone has physically accepted that referral. So that is broadcasting. Go ahead and click out of this. Now, really quick, before we jump into our next section, one thing I want to point out is when we're sending a referral to someone that is already in our network, we've already connected with them and have a relationship per se with that specific associate. If we were to send them a referral, you will notice that the client information is no longer going to be hidden. There's no yellow highlight. KW in the command system kind of assumes here that you have a relationship with this associate, and so you're sharing that with them right up front. So just keep that in mind on how you're sending these and if that matters to you. But here it will provide them with those details. I don't see any other questions currently. So let's kind of go ahead and keep going. Now, if we want to take a look at my referrals, this is kind of our next and kind of our last section of the referrals part. Showing 0 usually has something here. Here we go. So you'll see that we have the ability to filter. We also have some additional little buttons over here that we can click through. We can view our pending referrals. So those are going to be referrals that are waiting for a response. As you can see, it kind of tells you that. Active, so those are referrals that currently being worked on. Funded, referrals that are connected to a closed opportunity. You have lost, so referrals that are connected to a lost opportunity. So if the deal was lost and the opportunity was marked as such, those would show up here in the lost section. Now you also have expired and canceled. So referrals that did not receive a response in the defined time frame, so that acceptance time frame, or they were canceled by the sender. You then have rejected referrals, so they were just rejected. And then you can also view all of those. So as you kind of take a look at these, it will show you those differences. Now, if we look at an active one, just so you guys can kind of see what that looks like. So active referral, it's going to show us that that is a buyer. You can see any notes or updates here. You can also send an update to the client or to the referral partner. Furthermore, you can see down here what phase that referral is in. So where is this referral partner with this transaction? So this is currently in the active phase within the opportunity pipeline. So you get to kind of view all of that information and see what that looks like. Give me 1 second. I have a little bit of a computer glitch over here. Yeah, sorry about that. All right, so that is where we can see all of that. Again, you can send an update. This will allow you to send a little message over. You just type your message in and hit send. Now, there are also 3 little buttons in the top right of this referral where you can view the activity log. This will give you a timeline of what's going on with that opportunity or that referral and what kind of has transpired already. You can also send an update here again. You can mark it as lost or mark it as funded. So a couple options when you have an active referral. Now, if we take a look at funded, as you can see, a lot of the same similar information sent, received. You'll have those, all of the send update if it's an active one. Take a look at lost. Let's see. So this one is received. As you can see, none of the client information came over because this wasn't accepted. So I just want to show you guys what that looks like as well. This is what they'll see on their end when you send one and it's not providing that client information. Let's see. Got a couple of questions. Let's take a look at those. Let's see. Johanna, are you meaning after the transaction is fully closed, or are you just saying after they have an agreement or contract? So the lost opportunity or lost referral is when the opportunity that is connected to that client is marked as lost. So the opportunity itself would need to be marked as lost in order for that to happen. Johanna, when they have contract, all of that information should kind of update. So if they were moved to under contract within the pipeline, you should be able to see that. Funded, again, it's when they are connected to a closed opportunity. So the opportunity has fully closed. That is what's going to be funded. Trying to think, next thing I need to show you guys. Sorry. Questions kind of throw me sometimes. The last thing I want to show you guys, again, I know this class is a little bit shorter. I love it though because it does leave time for any of these questions that you guys have. I will definitely stick around. Referrals is just kind of a shorter class because there's not quite as much to cover through here. The last thing is just creating a new referral right here from the home screen. So again, you can do new referral. From here, you can either select an agent that you've already connected with, or you can do find an agent. Now, when you do find an agent, it's always going to redirect you to this map. And the reason for that being is that this is the best way to find a referral partner and connect with someone. So anytime you do the new referral, it will redirect you to this referral map so that you can kind of take a look at that. Let me make sure I covered kind of everything with you guys. If you guys have questions, drop those in the chat. I'm just gonna make sure I didn't miss anything. I'm kind of new to teaching this class. So my timeline of going through everything is still kind of being ironed out, but we will get through it. Let's see. I think we've covered most of this. Yeah, if you guys have questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Let's go through some questions. I will stop record. If anybody wants to get, some time back to your day, feel free to jump off. You will not offend me. I do want to thank you for coming today. And if you have any questions after you get off, you can email us at support@scholarlymarketing.com. Let's go ahead and stop.